Before we look at today's section, think back to grade 7, where you learnt about the great West African kingdom of Mali, which became rich and powerful because it controlled the trade in salt and gold across the Sahara Desert. The gold that it sold did not come from Mali itself, however. It was mined by the Akan people, who lived to the south in the forest regions of West Africa. The Akan people were divided into a number of small states. During the 1700s, the Ashanti kingdom became the largest and most powerful of these states because it controlled the gold trade. The first Ashanti king was Osei Tutu. He joined a number of Akan states together to form a strong union. He ruled it from the Ashanti capital at Kumasi. The states close to Kumasi were ruled directly by the Ashanti king, but those further away paid tribute to him. The most important symbol of the king's power was the golden stool. The Ashanti believed that this stool represented the soul of the nation and brought good fortune to it. The Ashanti kingdom became very wealthy, especially after traders from Europe arrived to trade with the West. The Ashanti did not trade directly with Europeans, however, but with the people living at the coast who acted as the go-betweens. The most important of these people were the Fante. The first European traders to arrive were the Portuguese. They wanted to buy gold directly from West Africa, rather than from the Arab traders who carried gold across the Sahara and then sold it to Europe. A local Akan leader gave the Portuguese permission to build a fort on the coast, which they called Almina, which means the mine. At first they bought gold and ivory in exchange for metals such as brass and copper, cloth and guns. After a while, the Portuguese began to buy slaves as well. Soon the area became an important source of slaves for the transatlantic slave trade. There was competition between the European countries to control this trade. The Dutch took over the fort at Almina from the Portuguese, and the British built their own fort at Cape Coast. Slave traders from Denmark also traded in this area. The Ashanti kingdom became the main source of gold and slaves for the European traders. In return, the Ashanti bought guns from them. They used these guns to defeat other states and to capture slaves. They also got slaves as tribute from the smaller states under their control. Some of the slaves worked in their gold mines. Others were sold to slave traders. During the 1700s, about 700,000 people were taken from this area and sold as slaves in the Americas. The wealthy Ashanti kingdom became well known for their gold and brass carvings, their furniture, and their brightly coloured woven cloth, called kente cloth. A British traveller called Thomas visited Kumasi in 1817 and described it as a well-organised, clean and beautiful city where about 40,000 people lived. He also described the beautiful gold ornaments and other items at the king's court. The Ashanti also had a large and well-trained army. The soldiers lived in special camps just outside of Kumasi. The slaves who worked in the fields and the mines lived in their own settlements, separate from everyone else.